I'm Jackie, and I'm here with Roxy, and we're going to show you the best way to start your new puppy learning how to be groomed. And learning how to be groomed must happen at home before the groomer gets a hold of your puppy. So the first thing you want to do is find the best place that you're going to teach your puppy how to do this. I suggest you do it on top of a washing machine, your countertop of a kitchen, in the bathroom. And I have Roxy hooked here so she can't go anywhere farther on the table and so she won't fall off. So some way to contain the puppy on a table is the best way to get started, because when we groom them, right Roxy, we're going to have them on a table. And I'm going to treat Roxy, because she's being very good, with a tiny bit of cream cheese. And everything I do for her and teach her is going to be rewarded with a little bit, teeny tiny bit of cream cheese. There's hardly any of it on my hand, but this way she's enjoying all this learning. The first thing I want to do is teach Roxy that it's okay if I hold her leg, and when she doesn't struggle, I give her a little bit of cream cheese. Now if Roxy gets fussy and wants to pull away, I just drop her leg and we don't do anything. And then I pick her leg back up and she doesn't fuss, so I give her a little taste of cream cheese. And the next thing you're going to teach them, and I'm going to move through this kind of quickly, but it's all in stages and it only happens for a few seconds, and then the lesson is all over. There's no reason to make it longer than a few seconds, because puppies' little brains can't last that much longer. So now I'm going to teach Roxy about the brush. So I'm going to hold the leg and I'm going to show her the brush, and I'm going to do a little brush, and she doesn't fuss, so she gets a little bit of cream cheese and she's all happy. If Roxy decides that she doesn't like this anymore and she's going to pull away, then I wouldn't treat her, but she's being so darn good, I'm going to give her some more. And then the next thing we want to teach Roxy while we're doing this is we're going to brush her face, and most puppies don't like that. So the first thing I want to do is teach her that I'm going to hold her face, and that it's going to be okay for me to hold her face, and she's not letting me, so that's good. So now I'm going to try again. I'm going to hold her face, and the second Roxy doesn't struggle, I'm going to give her cream cheese right in her face. And then I'm going to try holding her face again, and she doesn't struggle, so I'm going to give her some cream cheese. So Roxy knows that it's good. And the reason that we hold the puppy's face is because you're going to want to clean their eyes out, and the groomers are going to want to cut the hair at their face. And in order to do that, we have to be able to hold their faces still, and Roxy's letting me do that. And then the second that Roxy doesn't let me do that and struggles, I just stop. No need to scold, no need to say no, you just stop. And then I'm going to try again. I'm going to hold Roxy's face, and she doesn't struggle, so I give her some cream cheese. And she's all happy, happy. Now that would be the first thing to do to teach the puppy, and then the lesson is all over. And then the next day, you repeat everything, starting with the leg and the brush and the face. And while you're teaching Roxy that it's okay to touch her face, like this, I'm also going to stick my fingers in her face. And when she's struggling right now, so I'm going to stop. And then when she's gotten a break, I'm going to get a hold of her face again, and she's still not liking it. So when this happens, it's really best to let the lesson end and then go back to it later and not force it. Eventually, I want to use a brush on her face, and she's not liking this too much. So I'm going to take a quick pull of her face and then let her lick my finger, so she thinks it's all okay for me to hold her face. And then as soon as she does that, with me not having to have her struggle, then I'm going to put the brush on her face. And all of this, and she's letting me do it. Yay, Roxy, woohoo! So the other thing I want to mention to everybody is to have the correct brush. So some puppies don't like to be brushed, but if you have the correct brush, it is going to be a happy time when we give her some cream cheese, because we're brushing and brushing and brushing. This brush is a really, really nice brush, because no matter what you do, it's going to get the tangles through and stimulate the skin. The brush is going to be included in the puppy packet, so you'll be able to get started right away with the correct brush. And always, always brush all the way through so you feel the skin. And when puppy's accepting it, we always give them a little reward, just like we did before. And you want to be sure to be brushing legs and more legs. And when they're not struggling, we give them cream cheese. And she's happy, happy. And we do the head. And so they're not going to like the head right away. It's kind of a weird feeling to have their heads held and their muzzle held. But as long as they're letting you do it, we just reward with a whole bunch of cream cheese. Well, that isn't really a whole bunch. You just want a little bit. So the puppy just gets a little taste. Okay, so then when you get done with all the brushing and you've learned how to do the brushing and puppy's letting you do it and you're holding the face, the next thing we want to do is introduce noise, because groomers are always going to use clippers around the puppy's face, on their pads, on their little bellies, and all their little privates, and having their legs picked up. So I'm going to introduce Roxy to noise and see how she does. And I'm going to have cream cheese ready because we don't want to scare her. And we'll see what she does when she hears it. Ooh, yes. And you can use anything at home, even a mixer, any kind of noise. Put around the puppy so they hear this noise, and put it around their faces so they're not afraid of any noise. And this is something that you want to do all the time, as much as you can, while the puppy is learning all new stuff. And this is a Dremel. I'm just using it for noise. And I'm also going to introduce her to the sound of a clipper, which you may not have at home, but you can always use a dryer, a water pick. If you have a water pick or an electric razor, just something to have noise so the puppy is not scared when they're introduced to the real grooming. And you can put it all around their bodies and set it here and there. And she's not bothered at all by the noise. What happens though, when groomers use these clippers, we take a hold of their faces and we put it in between their eyes to get the hair out of their eyes. And that's why it's so important to teach puppy, once again, that holding their faces is a good thing. And we have our puppy ready to be groomed. These lessons don't happen overnight. It's really, really important to do a few minutes every day and only a minute or two on the table or wherever you do it at a time. If you have a big dog and you can't put them on the table, they're a big puppy, find the best place that's secluded, like your bathroom or a laundry room, so you can sit on the floor and do these exercises with a big puppy as well. And you just do it for not even 5 minutes, and then you get a break and the puppy goes about and plays. And it's all positive, all happy, and the next time you do your exercises, puppy will be happy to go with you onto the table. Okay, the other thing that we need to do with teaching puppy about grooming is we need to look at their ears, and they don't usually like this, so we're going to give a little bit of cream cheese, but I want to turn her ear out and stick my finger in it. And she's not going to like it too much, but I'm just massaging her ear. And I'm going to make sure that she knows it's okay to massage her ear. And the other thing that we want to teach our puppies, besides the ear and the eyes that we did already, is to take her foot, and she's struggling, so I'm going to put her down and just ignore her little playfulness. I'm going to take her foot again, and I want to check out her toenails. And as I do that, I'm giving her a little bit of reward because she's letting me do it. I'm just massaging her foot, and she's deciding she doesn't want it anymore. So I'm going to try again. Hi, Roxy, can I see your foot, baby girl? Oh, yes. And she's letting me do it, so I'm going to give her some more cream cheese. And I'm just looking at her toenails. We don't want to really play with the feet. We just want to I'm massaging her foot so she knows it's okay, because when a groomer goes to cut the toenails, they need to hold the foot. And she's gotten tired of that, so we're going to let her relax a minute. So the reason that this is so important is so that when your groomer comes in our mobile vans to groom your dog, it's going to be a really, really happy experience, because the puppy has built a really great relationship with you on the table or on your countertop or in your bathroom, so that when the groomer takes a hold, they're going to be able to do their job really quickly and efficiently, so the puppy doesn't have any anxiety over the grooming. And then it'll be a happy experience, and you and your puppy will have a great relationship, and the groomer and your puppy will have a great relationship. And then all is good.